We have forwarded the shame, guilt, fear to our next generations by never working on ourselves and always giving excuses that this is how society works. Your child is very lucky to have you as a parent because most parents are still not moving in awareness. So they come into your care not to be owned but be guided back to their divine nature. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. On my YouTube channel, you'll find all the videos that will help you reconnect with yourself. Whether it is about balancing your energies, masculine and feminine, reconnecting with your inner child, from working on your attachment styles to healing your inner wounds, your childhood wounds, on this channel, you will find all of that. For today's topic, how can you discipline children without creating shame, guilt, and fear in them? The way we discipline children deeply influences their soul's development, which career path they will take, the kind of person they become in the future, their physical body, their emotional body, how they deal with relationships, how they deal with conflict. Your voice becomes their inner voice. So, how they physically look, whether their body holds on to stress, whether they are relaxed, whether they have clarity on the life decisions they want to take, whether they take it independently or whether they are always dependent on you or somebody outside of them to take their decisions. Are they even clear on who they are and who they want to be? Or are they confused and fearful? The way we discipline them influences their future relationship with power, self love, and self worth. Discipline, when offered through alignment with spiritual truth rather than fear, it becomes sacred teaching instead of a punishment. For example, if you are always telling your child, you won't get ice cream if you don't do this, go to your room, you will not get anything for today. So, that anger, that punishment, that becomes your child's inner voice that if I do something wrong, my parents will be angry. So, in future, children usually hide things, even though you constantly tell them that we are your friends, we will help you, we will protect you. But when they need you, they will not rely on you. Instead, they will try to rely on their friends. So, you say things like, God will be angry with you, good children don't do that, what will people think? That voice became their inner voice that if I do something wrong, my parents are not going to be happy, God is not going to be happy, I am a bad person, and all that. That is the inner voice they develop. They become fearful of God, of society, of especially their parents. So, now moving on to how to discipline your children so you don't create this fear, you don't give them shame or guilt that has been given to us generation after generation. We have forwarded the shame, guilt, fear to our next generations by never working on ourselves and always giving excuses that this is how society works, this is the only kind of love, with blackmail, emotional blackmail, taking benefit of authority as a parent, that I am the person paying for all of this, I am the adult in the house, and that you are going to behave exactly as I am going to tell you. Now, why this behavior is not ideal for the development of your child and what behavior is ideal? The first thing you need to understand is understand the soul contract of the child. Your child is a sovereign soul, independent soul, free spirit. You don't own him or her. Every child has a unique blueprint, karma, and mission. Unique blueprint meaning every child will grow and learn differently. Karma, every child that comes into this life, they are being influenced by the past life karma. So their past life actions determine how they start this life, and their mission, their specific job that they came here to do. And it includes all of that, what all they need to learn here, what all they need to create, build here in this life, the kind of relationships they attract, the kind of job or career they build for themselves. So they come into your care not to be owned but be guided back to their divine nature. So discipline needs to be rooted in remembrance. You help them remember who they are instead of punishing who they are not. So, 3 points: let them be themselves, don't force your dreams on them, and guide with love, not force. Treat the child as a soul in training, not a behavior to be corrected. Their behavior is not their identity. When you constantly tell a child, you are a bad child, you make a mess, you are linking their behaviors and making them their identity. Which brings us to our second point, separate action from identity. Their actions, making a mess, or saying bad things to another person, or hitting someone, that is a behavior, that is not their entire identity. So even if they are hitting their younger sister or younger brother, understand where they are coming from. Sometimes why children make a mess is to gain the attention of their parent. They seek love, they seek their parents presence, but because we as adults are so busy, we don't give that much attention to every child we have. Sometimes when they hit their younger brother or sister, they are just jealous because they are the ones now getting all the attention, and it hurts them. So the second point, separate action from identity. When discipline becomes personal, you are bad, you are difficult, children internalize that. So they think that if mom or dad is saying I am bad, I am messy, they think that it is their identity. Your voice becomes their inner critic, their inner voice. If you label them as bad, messy, they believe they are bad, and those things that you mentioned to them, and you might think, oh, I was just angry, I didn't mean it that way, and even though you might say sorry afterwards, that comment imprints on their psyche. They think they are bad. But when discipline is about behavior, not their identity, their behavior, you don't label them that you are bad. You label the behavior, that this behavior, that hitting your sister is not a good choice. When you label that behavior, they learn that they made a mistake and that is something they can fix. It allows the child to separate identity from mistake. So use phrases like, that choice hurt someone. Let's find a better way. Or, that action is not aligned with kindness. You are not in trouble. You are learning how to choose differently. Instead of saying, you are a bad boy, tell them, hitting is a bad choice. Or saying that, why are you so messy? Tell them, your toys need to be put in the bin. Or saying that, you are being too lazy. You need to finish your homework before watching TV. So you are guiding their behaviors. This reinforces dignity while still teaching them accountability. Number three, regulate before you relate. Your vibration speaks louder than your words. So you can choose to be high frequency or high vibrational, or you can choose low frequency of anger, frustration. Preferably high vibration, which is communicating calmly. When you get angry, you have to regulate yourself first. Breathe deeply, calm yourself down. Remember the love that you have for your child. You think of something that makes you feel peaceful. High vibration of love, warmth, peace, contentment, calmness, support, acceptance for your child. If you discipline your child while being angry, anxious, or fearful, or ashamed, that imprints on the child. You are screaming, that instills fear in them. Screaming will teach the child fear. They will either go into fight or flight. They'll try to defend themselves. But when you have regulated yourself, when you are coming from a loving place and you are focusing on their behavior, the child will understand your words. Your calmness, your love will bring the focus of the child on your words. Screaming will only create confusion, fear, not clarity. So before getting angry and before communicating anything, breathe, ground yourself in the present moment. Look at everything that is around you. Calm yourself down by breathing deeply and moving into the frequency of love and acceptance for your child, reminding yourself that this behavior is not my child. This is not the identity of your child. Speak from centered awareness, not reactive emotion. Although it might seem easy, but because it has become a routine to get frustrated so easily, pick one behavior of your child. He or she makes a mess, write it down. Your toys need to be put in bin. This is not a good choice to keep these outside. And although if your child is at the extreme level, because ये तो समझता ही नहीं है, इतना इसको डांट लो फिर भी वही करता है, don't say that in front of your child. Maybe he or she does not listen initially, especially if it's a he, because boys usually are unorganized. That is also, in the mindset of mothers. ये मेरा बेटा ये ऐसे करता है, ये तो हटता ही नहीं, ये तो सुनता ही नहीं. First, change saying this out loud, at least saying this out loud. If you can't stop yourself from changing this thinking, stop saying this to your child. ये तो करता ही नहीं, ये तो सुनता ही नहीं. You can help him understand it. In order for your child to stop doing this, you need to stop being so frustrated. It might not be easy initially if your child has been habitual of doing all this and it has become your habit to be frustrated. You are going to retrain your child. His behavior will change. The next time he actually listens to you when you are being calm, when he puts all those toys back into the bin, you need to acknowledge it with love that you chose the right thing this time. You should be proud. Uh, this is also a habit. I am very proud of you. That makes the child think that I need to do and behave a certain way for my mom to be proud of me. Then their self worth, their everything they relate to you, then they are dependent on you. Will this make my mom proud? Will this make my, is this a behavior that my parents will like? Then they become the good children, but they are still not being themselves. You need to remind them this is a good behavior. You should be proud of yourself. You are being disciplined for yourself. It is not going to help you as a mother when your child is disciplined in the future. It is going to actually help them. When they are more disciplined, their room is more organized, they have more clarity, their room is decluttered, they can focus on things in the right direction, they can fulfill their mission, whatever thing they want to do in this life. It is going to help them, so they should and they need to be proud of themselves. So don't take it onto yourself. Tell them you should be very proud of yourself. So remember, children mirror your nervous system. Your calmness teaches them more than your words, more than your correction. So when you are coming from a calm place, when you are not constantly trying to control your child, even when they make mistakes, you don't always tell them that you are now in trouble, go in the other room, you are grounded, you will not get this, you will not get that. You might think that you are changing the behavior of the child when in fact they will start doing it to annoy you, or maybe just to rebel, or just to get your attention, or just because they are angry at you now. So you are angry, now they mirror back your anger. They are mirroring your nervous system. So you need to stop correcting, start communicating calmly with love. It's not their identity, it's just a behavior that can be changed. Use conscious consequences, not arbitrary punishments. Punishments instill a fear. When I was in school, teachers would suddenly slap or send you outside the class as a punishment. That only instilled fear. I don't think that I wanted to learn from that punishment. No child does. We are separate spirits in this 3D world, at least. Even though we are connected to the source, we are all one. We are still, when we come into this physical world, we are separate from you. We are not owned by anybody. If I had to guide a child, I would not force my beliefs onto them. I want them to learn themselves. Even God gives us free will. And if that parent is letting us have free will, who are we as humans, as parents, to instill fear that I will make my child the best child in the world? No. If your child chooses a career path, even if you wanted him or her to be a singer or dancer or mathematician or whatever, you could do that yourself, because your child is not your assignment. You are just supporting them. They are here for your support initially in their years when they need guidance. They don't need your correction, they don't need you to guide, in fact, control every step they take. In the name of you are just protecting your child. Let them make mistakes, let them learn from them. You cannot control their every move. And when you show them that their actions have consequences, not the ones that go into your room, you are grounded, you will not get this, your pocket money is cut. Consequences will be shown to them by universe. They are free to make their decisions even if they are wrong. And the only thing that you as a parent can do is guide them. Punishment can either make them fearful or rebellious. Even the behavior that you did a bad thing, now I as your mother will not talk to you. Avoidant attachment, showing distance. So this acts as a consequence? No. It means that the child believes that you don't love them, that you abandoned them when they needed you. So instead of communicating as an adult, which you are, not the child, instead of communicating, आपने अपना मुंह फुला लिया. I will not talk to you. You made a mistake. I will not talk to you. The child fears abandonment now. He or she feels rejected. Why is my parent not talking to me? Do they not love me? So they could make plenty of assumptions about your reaction. So that is why you need to ground yourself. You need to find out better ways of making them understand instead of punishing them, because punishing is not going to teach them. It will either create fear, shame, or guilt. And that's not something that we want to do to our children. Here we are the adults, so we teach as an adult. We teach them with love, with acceptance, with warmth. They don't need to fear us. They should always know that we are here to support them, but also that their actions do have consequences. And you cannot protect them from everything. They made their own choices. You should and must allow your child to make their own decisions, to choose whatever path they want to choose, so that they move with clarity, not fear, not shame, not guilt. Even to change our own behaviors, it takes time. So just pick one behavior that your child shows. Write what behavior I need to change, calming my nervous system down so I communicate clearly, what exactly I can communicate when my child is behaving like this. Pick one behavior. If you have any questions, you can drop them down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.